So here's some video from Indianapolis explosion, but I'm going to show you examples of some propane explosions. He says he came 2 feet off the bed. Level 2 homes. Let me back it up for a second here. Wonder if I can get it to stop on that. So check it out. There you go. But basically, there sure looks like a propane, not natural gas. Looks like a propane explosion is what it looks like. Now, if there's no known propane bottle to be in the area, and a bottle wouldn't do this, it would have to be, this would probably have to be like a 50-gallon, 100-gallon propane tank. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they have, because this is the site. Okay, and then I'm going to show you some propane explosions that level a lot more than this. So they actually were lucky. So this had to have been something smaller than, you would think smaller than a 100-pound propane tank. Piecing together what we can get off these shots. So I got some more video here. They lost 2 people. A lot of people wounded. Two dead and I believe 4 injured for darn sure. So this is off a mobile phone. The guy got shot. There's definitely a flame. These guys helped out. So here's some footage. Well, these guys are heroes, it sounds like. I'm going to freeze this shot here. I can't really get rid of the play button there, so that you can see that there is basically a basement here, but you can tell that basically the explosion is right here. It's pretty much a crater right here. So more than likely, somehow, some sort of a propane tank, more than likely, went kaplowey right here. And as you can see, all this stuff blew away. It didn't burn because it got blown so far away. Toothpick-orama. No matter what, there's an explosion right here. Massive explosion. You can see that it basically craters. Pretty much here, here, here. So this basically, in this area right here, it blew out. And then you'll be able to take a picture of this and zoom in, because the above shots were pretty, because it's basically this house down here. If I move the cursor, but the house right in the middle below the play button, you can see that that basically burnt out from burning. But also pressure probably blew the hell out of from the explosion, blowing out to the side. The house, it depends on what happened for anybody injured to the left or to the right, because they got lucky on it not blowing out as much. So, but no matter what, something blew up in here and made a crater, because you can see this crater right here. This is burn over this way, but something cratered right here and blew something out. It's pretty damn round, as you can see, and I'm just going to back off and you take a look at that for a second. Just freeze there and you look at that. It's very round right here. Very round right there. So now I'm going to take and show you some actual propane, and we'll hit the play on this. I guess basically we'll play this. I'm not sure basically this was live tonight or something, that they showed some stuff. So you can see here once again that basically it blew up right here. Something blew up. This is burned this way, but something blew up right here. Completely explosion. Boom. Bam. So now the interesting thing is, I'll take in look at all this debris. Look at all the debris. So it couldn't have been a very large propane tank, so I'm going to take and show you some actual footage of propane explosions. So there you go. Now, if I can get it to back up for a second. It's like a brick facade in front of a house, so basically it burnt, okay? So you can see it burnt, but at the same time, you can see the damage to here to the right from the implosion. And these cars burn up, blew up, but just so you realize that it's just a brick facade, okay? It's a brick front facade. It's the only thing that saved all this front area, just that. Now what's goofy is I'm going to mention where they say that they figure that it's the explosion started. It doesn't make any sense where they're saying it started at. They say that this is the epicenter right there. And you can tell by everything that that's not the epicenter. That's not the epicenter. Because the massiveness of the explosion. So as you can see by the footage that I showed you before, that what they're saying is where the explosion happened wasn't. As you can see by that overhead shot earlier, that's not where it happened at. Windows are broken out all over the place. That's why where they're saying that originally, but I'm sure they're going to change their mind on that. So, and here you get an overhead view, and someone's reporting that there's a crater here. And as you can see, everything just goes flying. There's tons of debris. And I apologize about I can't help that it's a digital picture, but there you go. But the crazy reports of there's probably a good 18 houses that got broken windows, maybe even more. But, and they mark a crater there. So, go figure. It doesn't really look like, so no matter what, this is the debris. So there's a lot of damage here, 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 and what you see in the other footage here. This is an overhead shot of all the debris laying on the roofs over here and so forth and so on. So, and I can't confirm or deny that crater there at all. You have to be able to see what you can see. But it sure looks like that's where the explosion was at, and then all this other stuff burnt. So what's unusual, it doesn't really look like a propane because it's not 360 degrees of burn. It's burning left and right. This is the famous propane explosion, and as you can see, it burns a lot, 360 degrees, as you can see. Okay? Let you see that for a second. Always watch on full screen and realize that 360 degrees. Okay? And basically, this was probably the explosion of the propane tank right there. Here's an example of a work yard where a propane bottle blew up at. And as you can see, it went 360 degrees. And as you can see, you can pretty much center right into where it basically blew, more than likely somewhere in this area it blew up. So it's just unusual how it didn't, the fire department I guess probably did a darn good job by knocking the fire down, because you can go back to the video and watch the debris field. Here's another shot of a yard that blew up, that same yard I believe, and more than likely something blew up in this area here. And as you can see, it scatters around. A lot of water left over too from them putting it out. So here's a famous propane explosion from West Virginia. Okay, West Virginia. Okay, propane explosion. Here's a Portage County explosion where 2 people were killed, 2 souls lost there. 2 souls lost in Indiana also. Propane was blamed for a famous Long Island explosion also, as you see here. So, and at this northern Toronto explosion, they spent 35 days investigating. So we'll see how long they investigate this one. So this seems like a small one. We'll see what they say, but it sure seems small for a propane explosion.